Hi, I'm Diane Tabler. I'm registered for Exploring Social Work at Northwestern State University, and our assignment was to interview a social worker. I had the great pleasure to interview Molly Fleming. She is a licensed clinical social worker. Molly decided to be a social worker because of her grandmother. Her grandmother was a social worker, and she was also was involved in the foster care system. And a lot of Molly's relatives were foster parents, so she was always around these foster kids, and she never really knew that they were any different than she was. And it wasn't until much later that she learned that about foster care and social work, and this just kind of seemed like a perfect fit for her. Um, she, she's a graduate of LSU in Baton Rouge, and she has a master's from there also. She loved her college experience. She did an internship 2 days a week in her master's program, and it was all just a wonderful experience for her. Molly is probably in her 30s and hasn't had a lot of different careers, but she's been a school social worker, and she's also been a hospital social worker. Currently, she is a licensed clinical social worker with the Cancer Center at Christus Hospital here in Shreveport. She does a lot of screenings, cancer screening programs like at different places. She does some group sessions with cancer patients, and she loves her job there at Christus. But she also has a job as an independent contractor doing adoption home studies. So that keeps her real busy. She's very, very active. She has learned a lot from all of these careers, and she doesn't really have a least favorite. But she said her favorites are the two jobs she's doing now. When I asked Molly what social work was to her, she told me that social work is advocating for people. And she really is such a genuinely positive person. And I was asking her about the difference between skilled and unskilled social workers. And she told me that the best skilled social workers, the biggest difference is they are really trying to be their best self. And I got that a lot from her, that she really portrays this. And she also said that a skilled social worker is going to be on top of current events, and they're also going to be updated on all their continuing education. And then I asked her about, did she think there were good and bad social workers? And she told me that she did not, she's so positive that she didn't see that there were any bad social workers. She said that, now, she did say there were social workers that were burnt out, and that's because they're just not taking care of themselves. But she said the majority of social workers are good. When I asked Molly about what she would ask me or advise me, or someone that was considering social work as a career path, she told me that it was such a gratifying experience, that you get so much joy out of helping people. And she had also said that when you're trying to figure out about being a social worker, to do your research and know like what licenses you need to have, and how much education you need to have for what kind of social work, specific kind of social worker you plan to be. And then in closing out our interview, I asked her about self-care and what she did for self-care. And she mainly, said spending time with her husband and dog and going out to eat with friends, and also spa days, manicures, pedicures, that kind of thing. But she said it's just so important to turn the work off and go out and have a good time with friends and family. Thank you for watching my video. I'd like to thank my grandson, Jonah, who is a 7th grader at Caddo Middle Magnet, who is producing, directing, editing, and is also the cameraman for this video. Thanks, Jonah.